Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish.
So today I'm thinking about how do we translate all this high vibe stuff? I think I've talked enough about how high vibe stuff, and I'm starting to really freak out, I don't have anything left to say. And then I was thinking about this whole idea of what is the catalyst for all this? What makes it happen? And then I started thinking about, I know I'm giving you my weirdo thinking things, okay? So I was thinking about catalytic converters. Do you know what a catalytic converter even is? I mean, I certainly didn't. I had to look at it. I was thinking, wow. So I understand what a catalyst is. A catalyst is something that makes you, or someone that makes you take a certain action or change your mind or something. It's an impetus. It would be another word, right? So I was thinking about, what is this? What does a catalytic converter do? Interesting. This is it. It controls emissions, reduces toxic gases, and changes harmful substance into something useful. Do you see where I'm going with all of this? Of course you do. You see exactly where I'm going with all of this. Think about it this way, because we were talking about high vibe and low vibe and how that's just really a scientific thing. We talked about on Monday how you can watch vibration happen with the sand vibrations. The higher the vibe, the most beautiful and intricate the pictures that are created in sand versus the lower vibe. It's so fascinating, so interesting. And so when I'm thinking about this whole idea of converting something and what is going to cause this thing to be converted, these toxic things to be converted, this is what we can do with our mindset. At any point, the toxic crap, which we all deal with, by the way, nobody's immune. Do you know that? We're not immune. If we think that we are, then we probably have more to deal with than we even want to talk about, Because I was thinking about that. I shared my story with you on Monday on how pathetic and how petty and how awful my thoughts were about my poor little neighbor because he just didn't treat me right. And I felt dismissed and hurt and all this other kind of stuff. And I rationalized bad thinking, and it kept me up at night. That's how crazy town that is. What is that? That's so low vibe. But when we make a decision that we're going to control those emissions, like a catalytic converter does, and that we're going to take these toxic substances, let's just admit it, right? This guy, this neighbor of mine, that was a toxic way of dealing with someone. And then his wife, you again, blah, being all like that. Just because they have done that, I can convert that into something useful. Like, there's a lesson for me. Be gracious anyway. How about that? I can be gracious anyway. And let me just tell you how cathartic, is that a word? I don't know. How cathartic it was for me to just let go of all of this stuff. Can I tell you? Because after I talked to you about this on Monday and it kept me up on Sunday and all of that, the next day I was just I let it go. I was able to let it go. And I was able to let go of all this toxic emissions and turn it into something useful and to grow off of it instead of stagnate and bring, go back to the grovel level. It just sucks. Hey, Teresa, pretty name. I'm so glad you're here. I don't know if it's Teresa or Teresa, but it's pretty. Regardless, I've always loved that name. So when we're aware of the need to vibe higher so we can attract in the things that we want, because, it's the difference between a Big Mac and a blueberry. We talked about that yesterday and just how everything has a measurable vibration to it. Then we can use that awareness as a catalyst for creation. That's what wise women do. They create their destinies. They create a vision for their lives. They don't ask somebody to give it to them. They create it themselves. This is why it's always personalized. It's always customized to fit your life, to fit your needs, to fit who you are and how you show up in the world, what it is you do, and all your people around you. Isn't that so? That's so highly freeing, I think, because we get sucked into thinking we've got to do it the same way the guru does it, or the same way she wrote the book, or the same way everything. And it's just not that way. It's not hard and fast. It's not. It's not black or white. This is the place with gray. This is the place for multicolors. This is the place where we paint the vibrant vision that we want for our own life. But to do so, we have to get into the creative mode. And I say that creation is the catalyst for all of it. And it's the high vibe. Well, actually, creation is the high vibe, and the catalyst for it is the awareness of the need of it for it. Does that make sense? We need to understand that we need high vibeness in our life. We do, because otherwise we feel like crap all the time. We're tired, we're achy, we have pain, we have this, we have that. We feel like slugs, getting up and just doing things, going up and down the stairs. What a drag. All of that. We don't want that, because vibrancy lives on the other side of that low vibe, low energy stuff. Vibrancy is on the side of big energy. So I have written down 8 things that I thought will really help to move the needle in your life, right? 8 things. And they're a little different than the things that we always talk about. Yes, meditation. Yes, eating food, good food. Yes, hydrating. Yes, moving your body. All of those things. But we've talked about those. But let's talk about just a couple of mindset pieces that we can kind of slide in there. That will help to really define and create the catalyst that you need to convert some of this garbage. Yeah? Isn't that cool? And change your mind on some things. Because we all need our minds changed. All of us. We need our minds changed. And you know what's nice about that? That's the kind of community that I want to be in, where they're saying, look at me, blah, blah, blah. We had a gal in our community who was sharing about, I blew it, and it was a sandwich with some sweet potato fries or something, and helped me get back on track. And you know what? I just want to celebrate the fact that she had the guts to walk in and just say, look, day 15, I got hijacked by a sandwich and some sweet potato fries or whatever it was. Doing so changes the dynamic. She could have disappeared. She could have said, okay, that's it. Adios, I'm out. She could have just checked out. Instead, she came back and said, owned her thing, and said, hey, this is what happened, and said, help me out, and that put everybody on alert. Everybody was like, girlfriend, got your back. Girlfriend, we've got your back. We've got your back. Here's what I've done. Here's what I've tried. Do this, do that. And don't forget, don't beat yourself up, but, learn from this. Go from this. You've got it. How encouraging is that? How high vibe do you think encouragement and support is? I say it's way up there. I say it's up there with peace and joy and love and reason, acceptance and willingness, optimism. Remember our chart from Monday? Incredible. That's what happens when a community rallies together to love one another up, right? To love one another up. Sarah says, I struggle with knowing what is a helpful change to the program versus what is a destructive excuse. Example, worrying that if I do 1 workout instead of 2, am I listening to my body or am I making excuses? That's so good, Sarah. And I think that we always, you're the only one who has the answer to that. But we all have that. And I will tell you, yesterday, I did a 20-minute, and then I had in the morning, and then I had 3 others that I had a core, and I had some arms, and I was going to jump on my my bike and do just a 15-minute hit, right? None of that happened because we ended up going and seeing a disaster of a house yesterday. I can't even tell you. Don't even get me started. For my daughter, they're moving back here. So we ended up to, it didn't happen. But I also took, Lincoln, the Lincoln Project, out for 2 big walks and did the other stuff. And I just finally, when we got home and I dinner and doing all the stuff and hungry, I was tired and I was hungry. And the truth was I had had enough. And to push it was just being ridiculous and being a perfectionist. right? Yeah, you know the truth. And that second, sometimes that second workout, all it needs to be is a 4-minute workout just to have it done, because that's just a check of the box. We don't have to go and do a marathon a second time. But this is what, this is what this is all about, isn't it? It's this creativity that we can start creating in our lives to live on a higher vibe level. And the other thing, Sarah, and I think, when Sarah asked that question, she's asking it for all of us. Our higher vibe self is our higher self, more connected and knows, because you're not an excuse maker, Sarah. You're not. And I think that when we listen to ourselves, when we listen to ourselves and we back off and we give ourselves the grace and the love that we truly need, we really are in tune with what's going on with our bodies. Isn't it so cool? Oh, Margaret, we love you. You know that, right? Margaret, I love Margaret. She's showing up in a big way in our group. And it just makes me happy with her son, with herself. And then we've got Marguerite is doing those beautiful pictures of all her nature walks and everything. Doesn't it light you up? Higher vibe. That's what it is. All a higher vibe. So in order to create, we need a few things in place. And this is stuff that's the inside stuff, not the to-do stuff, but it's the inside pieces. You ready for this? Julie says she's all about high vibe. She's loving this. Well, good. I'm glad, because high vibe is such a cool concept. When you understand the science behind it, it just makes you gasp with wonder about the creator who created all of this in the first place, and it makes you feel like such a working, moving part in the scheme of things, doesn't it? It does me. So number one, where do we start? Well, good grief, girlfriends. Let's start with some belief. We have to have on the foundation a belief that, yes, I can have that. Yes, I can do that. And yes, I am so much stronger than I think I am. And maybe it starts out with this I'm so much stronger than I think I am. Maybe it starts like that. But you know what? I am an athlete is something that has sustained me and keeps me going. And you know what my goal is? I am an athlete and I train daily at the gym and at the table. That's what joyfully, I forgot. And I train joyfully. Do I look like an athlete? No. Do I look like an athlete to me? You betcha. I'm pretty proud of this old girl. I can lift things. I'm lifting 50-pound dog food bags in our garage, up and down those stairs every day, 3 times a day, usually. And working out and getting energized and strong. Do I look like an athlete? I do in my eyes. I think that's enough. Good for me, right? And good for you too. This is where our enoughness comes in. We're not Instagram models. We're not bikini models. We're women who want vibrant lives, period, end of story. What's it going to look like? For you, it's going to be different than me. And for your neighbor and for everyone else. And you know what? Yay. Yay. I'm so glad, because then we have the dynamic that we want in our lives and the energy to create it and to make it so. We also need clarity. That's number 2. Clarity is our why. And it makes it crystal clear why we want to go after this in the first place. Why do we want to create this stuff? Well, first of all, we have this awareness. In order to have vibrancy, I guess I'm going to have to vibe a little higher, right? But why? Why do you want that? I'll tell you why you want it. Because you want to be present in your life. You want the moments to count. You want your relationships juicy and meaningful, right? Am I right on I think I'm pretty good at this part so far. You don't want to be living with pain. You don't want to be living in a place where your spirit's crushed. You want to be living a life of vibrancy, and you want to decorate that cake. You want to be the creator of what that vibrancy looks like. With clarity, you get to do that. But it's up to you. Use a why ladder. Why do I want this? Why do I want to do this next? Why, and why? And you keep going until your why is just standing out and just going boom. Jane says, it's so empowering to work out. Just came from the gym and feel like a badass. That's my girl, Jane. She is a badass, by the way. That's what we want. Badassery, right? Not half-assery, badassery. Number 3 is focus. Listen, When you are able to zero in, make it happen. Focus on it. Yes. Focus, focus, focus. Focus is everything. When you focus, you're creating energy. When you're focused, you're taking your energy and you're going boom like a laser. You got that? You go boom like a laser. And guess what happens? Suddenly now you're looking at the thing that you want instead of the things you don't want. Because when we focus on the things that we don't want, we're going to get that too. Yuck. So, and I'm going to say this to all of our ADD and ADHD who say, you know, my focus is everywhere, blah, 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 blah. Oh, come look at my desk. Yeah, I know what that is. We're also the most creative, by the way, ADD, ADHD, and I am one of them. I've been diagnosed with it. I have a son that is also ADD, ADHD, and it's a thing. It totally is. Boom, 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 all over the place. Carol, shut up. Carol said she's 65. Come on. I thought you were 45, Carol. Oh my gosh. Well, she's beautiful. I'll tell you that. Go look at her pictures, what she posted. Wow. I'm so proud of you. And she's killing it. She's posting her smart watch stuff all the time. Man. So we zero in. We zero in. Even us who are ADHD, we zero in as best we can. And then we just say, you know what? Okay, I'm a little all over the place. This is for the gal who's ADD, ADHD like I am. Checklists. You got to have them. If it's not written down, it doesn't happen. That's all. How do I know that? Right? I live that daily. Number 4, we have to have faith, girlfriends. Faith, 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 and faith again. You know, faith is the substance of things hoped for. The substance of things hoped for. This is, you know, it's substantial, right? It is the substance, the core of everything. Our hopes are in faith. We got to have some faith. I can do this. We got to have some faith. It is possible. We got to have some faith. Faith is strengthens your God muscle too, because it connects you with the one who made you in the first place. Yep. Connected, completely connected. And number 5 is urgency. Come on. I'm going to tell you this. That what we do is we put off. We wait till after the holidays. We wait till it's a Monday. We wait till tomorrow. Well, you know, now that I've blown it this weekend, I'm just going to get through the weekend and start. You know what? If this is important, then swift action is required. Because when you have swift action behind something, guess what happens to you? Your brain now, again, goes back to the focus and you start clicking in. It's incredible what happens, and you got to do it. Period. End of story. You got that? You got to do it. Urgent. Your house isn't burning down, but your plans will. Let's do it that way and be a badass. That's right. June's all about being a badass. Sarah says, new research says that our ability to work out doesn't start to decrease until the mid-70s. I'll drink to that. That's fabulous. Mm-hmm. I've seen women who are in their mid-70s who are bodybuilders and bikini models. Come on. There's a woman out there, I can't remember her name. Gorgeous, in her 80s now. And she made a very dramatic decision because she was blown up with diabetes. Incredible. Lost like 100 and something pounds and now she's like, you could bounce quarters off her belly. Ridiculous. Hello, Mimi. There's our graduate, y'all. There she is. Say hi to Mimi and congratulations. Number 6 is decisive action. You know, this is when we get to our alignment assignment of doing what we actually said we're going to do, like showing up at the gym and getting things done and what have you. Yes, listening to our bodies. I think that is absolutely critical. Yeah, we got to listen to our bodies. We're never going to do it perfectly, but guess what? We're going to do it well if we decide and we take action. That's what we do. Connect the dots. Connect and connect, 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 connect. Keep going and keep connecting those dots. And when we do that, we feel more in alignment and it's easier. It's like, you know, here, back to my engine. No, I'm not going to do that because I'm really bad at that. But you know what it is when something either flows or it doesn't. You know exactly what it is. When you're in flow, it's just like easy. And when you're not, it's like start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. Well, you've been driven in a car that's just on its way out or running out of gas. Well, I'm telling you, this is a big deal. Decisive action. Do what you say. And you know what? Every time you do that, you're building your tenacity muscle, which is next. And tenacity, what is tenacity? You've got grit, not quit. Because wise women don't quit on themselves. Wise women stay the course. Wise women make decisions that are right for their lives, decisions that are right for the people around them, make decisions that are going to light up their lives and create vibrancy. High vibe living is vibrancy. It's that easy. Tenacity. Do not quit on yourself. Pinkies up on that. Do not quit on yourself. We were all going to have Edison moments where every once in a while we're going to say, hey, you know, a little tenuous here, but you don't quit. You don't ever quit. We have these Edison moments where we figure out another way not to do it, but we keep going because we have grit and not quit. Ask Mimi. Ask Mimi. Amen. We're so proud of you. So proud of you, Mimi. Yes, that's right, Carol. She tells herself that every single day. Marguerite says, I will not quit on myself. She's got her pinkies up. We don't quit on ourselves. We're wise women. We have grit. We don't quit. Number 8, this is the last one. We slather this whole thing in gratitude. Wrap it up, put a bow on it, tape it up, and what do we got? What do we got? We've got gratitude. And we scream it from the mountaintop because gratitude changes everything. We experience sunsets. We don't just see them. You know, we're acknowledging the Creator when we do this. We're acknowledging everyone around us when we do it. Have you noticed how noticing changes your mind? Have you noticed that? Changes your vibe, changes the course of your life. This is what vibrancy is all about. And that gratitude, boy, we talked about that a lot this week. I'm not going to unpack it all. But I will say that if you don't have a practice of gratitude, you know, you can get that. It's in the first page in the journal every single day in the journal. And I write things down. You want to hear what I said today? Because it was pretty funny, actually. I was quite groggy. I did not sleep well at all last night. Have you had that happen before? It was just a crappy night. I couldn't sleep. I went to bed at my normal time. I go to bed at 10. Just couldn't sleep. So you want to hear what it was? My gratitude today was a new toy for Lincoln. You know why? I have a little stash of toys, and you give him a new toy, it'll calm him down for the morning. I can get my meditation in, and I can also get my journal writing in. Isn't that so funny? Number 2 was meditation. It was a really good meditation, and I had a lot of notes that I wrote from it. That always happens. And then Megan, my friend from Fresh Pressed Olive Oil Club, I told you, TJ and Megan came over for dinner. We had the best time. She gave me some coffee that's really on point. So I'm loving that coffee. So I just have gratitude. Those are my weird ones, right? And I didn't plan on sharing them, but I'm sharing with you to show you that, you know, we don't have to have these eloquent writer's moments. What we have to do, what we have to do? Show up. That's it. You show up and just do it. And sometimes it's crappy work. Sometimes it's just one little thing. And other times you're just like writing and writing and writing. You can't get enough out. That's what happens when we decide that we're going to allow this catalytic converter to take our vibes and raise them to higher vibration. And then from there, start paving the path to vibrancy. Because that, my friends, is what it's all about. And it makes all the difference in the world. So I hope that was helpful for you. I love you all, by the way. And I really appreciate the fact that you show up every single day. That tells me that you have grit, not quit. Living that high vibe life. That's how you roll. Peace be with you. I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.